I missed, what position are you running for?
Yeah. District House of Representatives, U.S. House of Representatives.
Okay. If I could ask you a question, we see protests against ICE. Yep. This one today, pretty peaceful, pretty civilized. But up in Minneapolis, we have people who are using their cars to ram ICE officers, obstructing traffic. We have organizations like ICE Watch, who Renee Good worked for, that teaches their people how to de-arrest detainees from the police. What's your reaction to that? Do you support this, or do you think people need to cool it down?
Well, immediately I got to focus on what you're saying here is factually incorrect. Your perspective is that someone was interfering in a law enforcement activity. The basis of that, which is incorrect. It's factually incorrect. They do not have jurisdiction or authority. ICE has a very narrow scope of what they're supposed to do.
What is that scope, if I could ask?
Detain and deport with warrant and due process. What we're seeing right now is that they are not enforcing immigration. What they're trying to do is a traffic stop, and they tried to pull her out of a vehicle. She was not trying to kill anyone. So don't be disrespectful and don't lie about what happened. We have to have civilian oversight of our federal agencies. There's nothing wrong with that. That's your First Amendment right.
Does that include ramming vehicles?
No, it does not include violence.
So you would condemn that ramming vehicles of ICE?
If you ram a vehicle for ICE, I would condemn that. That's not the way that you should be observing. All right.
That's good.
That's becoming from passive to active. However, I would understand why people would want to. I'm also human, and I can understand why people would want to do things like that. And that's the part that people are trying to ignore. It's like, oh, this came out of nowhere. No, this didn't come out of nowhere. People have been pissed off about this for a long time. So don't be surprised when people get pissed off and take matters in their own hands.
Do you mind if I show you a website real quick, and you can just let me know live what you think of it? These are people who ICE has arrested, and it's, we got cruelty towards a child, fraud, hit and run, criminal sexual conduct, 4th degree. A lot of these people are from Somalia, and many of them are arrested in Minnesota. Do you endorse that work that's being done by ICE?
Do I support them arresting and deporting people who are committed of serious crimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should be arresting and deporting. I don't support tokenizing a whole population of people. All right, just because they happen to be Somali or they happen to be immigrants is not the issue. Like, this is why I have a problem with right-wing politics, because they want to tokenize everything. They have to have a scapegoat for every illegal action.
Well, it's not.
And that's why it becomes fascist, because you can't look at it as just this is a crime.
Yeah, one more thing.
It's a crime, and it's because this community came from Somalia and took advantage of our government.
But if you scroll through this list, it's all Somalians. The charges that are brought in Minnesota for fraud, 95% of them are against Somalians.
I have a problem with
it's so wonderful. I think you should. That dog.
You don't like the
dog in sensationalism?
Why? How does it hurt? Who does it harm?
And these mobs,
it's used as propaganda. People commit crimes and people are victims of crimes. So that is literally just propaganda.
I think it makes Somalians look worse.
Yeah, it's propaganda.
But
that's what propaganda does.
But they really did commit those crimes in greater proportions than anyone else.
No, but that's not what's happening. Somali people are not committing crime in bigger ways. What's happening is their crimes are being highlighted and used as a reason to justify illegal actions.
Can you find me a fraudulent American-owned daycare in Minneapolis?
That is bullshit, dude. Why are you going to target one little operation right there?
No, there's dozens of them. There's dozens of these fraudulent daycares.
I'm not getting into that because honestly, I don't care. I don't think that it rises to the level of the President of the United States to be worried about daycare.
What good have Somalians brought to our country?
I mean, they work hard, they open businesses, they start things, they're members of the community. Like Ilhan Omar is a member of Congress. She ran for the highest office. She took a pledge to defend the Constitution of the United States. She dedicated herself to the service of the nation. That is a good thing.
Did you know that Ilhan Omar went to Somalia and said that she is the Somalians' representative in Congress and she supports their interests in our Congress? How do you feel about that?
Yeah,
you don't care? Whose interest would you be representing in
the 5th District?
The 5th District. Yeah. What about illegal immigrants who are here?
The 5th District, there are Haitians in the 6th District. Immigrants contribute more to our society than they take away. And a lot of what you've said today, whether you agree with it or not, has been based in racism.
Is it racist or white supremacist to want America to belong to the Americans and to not have it open to the world?
Who gets to decide what an American is?
Well, people who have citizenship here. We get to vote and have self-determination.
Is that what's happening right now? like they're deporting people who are citizens. They are arresting people who are citizens. They are wrongly. Yes, they are.
It's illegals and non-citizens who are getting deported.
They're not illegals. They're undocumented people, right? You're not viewing them as people. I'm having a real issue with what you're saying. You're starting to piss me off because they're people, right? Like you're talking about them as if they're just colors and numbers walking around. These are people. They have zip-tied babies. They have arrested citizens. They have arrested members of the military. People have died.
Name a citizen they've arrested and deported.
There's a guy that just the other day, I don't know his name, but it's like.
You're not talking Kilmar Obrega Garcia, are you?
No.
The guy in wherever that was.
No, he was wrongfully deported too. That's why he's back.
Well, he's also affiliated with Tren de Agua, and there's a restraining order for his wife because he beats her.
Charge him with a crime. What's his crime?
Well, he's also here illegally though, and so that's why.
Charge him with a crime.
Like
adjudicated. Why is that hard for MAGA? Why is that hard for people?
Well, we adjudicate crimes for citizens in our court of law, but if you're a foreigner who comes here illegally, you can just go right back to where you came from. That can be adjudicated across the border in your own homeland, right? Yeah. Do you see the replacement theory as an issue? Is that a concern for you? No.
Replacement theory is just a bullshit lie that white Republicans tell themselves so they can feel better about.
Do you think it's true? Do you think it's true that the proportion of white Americans is decreasing over time?
I don't care.
You don't care.
The way you're breaking it down here, you use a racial stereotype. Yeah, I think you're comfortable with that, and that's a problem I have. Right? Like you're not exploring your own whiteness here, like white supremacy is a bad thing. You're just using it as a way to gain likes on the internet.
I'm not white supremacist. I don't think whites are supreme, but I think everyone has a right to self-determination in their own land. I think that if there's an uncontacted tribe in South America that wants to keep everyone else's influence out, they don't want a McDonald's in their jungle, I support their right to do that. If the Japanese want to say, hey, we like our Japanese culture, we're going to keep it that way, I think they have a right to do that. And in the same way, I think we have a right to say, you know what, we're not going to have half the population of the third world come here, because when they do come here, our soil's not magical. It's not going to turn them into civilized suburbanites. They're going to keep their third world habits and bring them here. We don't want that.
You're talking about civilized third world, like so you're painting a contrast, uncivilized because they came from somewhere else. Look, dude, I don't know what your worldview is, but it's clearly flawed because you think that somehow culture and identity vanish when people come in from other countries.
They don't. That's the issue. When they come in, they bring their old culture with them.
Fine. What difference does it make?
Do you
How
think?
long do you plan on living?
Do you think there's anything superior about America, about our culture and our way of life, that it makes us superior to other countries?
Superior?
Are we the greatest country on earth?
Are we the greatest country on earth? Unclear.
It's unclear. Do you think we have anything that recommends us?
The greatest military power that the world has ever seen in the history of the world.
It's true.
That makes us pretty great in a lot of ways, but it makes us pretty terrible in a lot of ways.
Do you think there's anything that recommends our culture and way of life above, say, Somalia's?
Yeah. I mean, we've got the people leave there for a reason, right? Like there's corruption within their government. It's harder to make a living there, right? Most of the time people flee those circumstances because of economic crisis.
Do you think the people living in Somalia might have anything to do with why Somalia is the way it is?
No.
Is it just the dirt underneath their feet?
It's complicated. It's more complicated.
It's complicated, but it's not ultimately that complicated because the soil's not doing anything, the forest's not doing anything, it's the people who are doing it.
Have you ever been to Somalia?
No, thank the Lord.
Why?
Because it's a place full of rape and murder and grievous piracy, and look, Somalians commit rape at rates that exceed anything we have here.
Somali rape rates?
Because I have Google and I can research these things. In India, have you ever gone to India or Pakistan? You know how high the rape rates are there? You know how dangerous it is as a white woman to go to a celebration in India unattended? Even the Indian people will tell you, hey, don't go.
That's a crazy scenario. Like, why are you bringing up like these rates?
Because you want to bring them here and bring those places and their people to our city.
Oh, okay. So you're thinking that because they have, you have crime. There's this crime in other places that you don't agree with, but there's rape and murder here
at far lesser rates than there are over there. My issue is if you want to bring people from other countries where they have high murder rates here, we're going to get their murder rates.
There's a rapist in the White House.
That's not true.
I mean, at the highest levels of our government, there's people that have...
That's not true.
Sexual assaulter, sexual abuser, Donald Trump. There's
Okay, let's just grant that.
So
let's just grant that.
Our rape is okay, but their rape
No,
over
it's
there.
absolutely not
We don't
okay.
want
Let's grant hypothetically for a second that there are rapists in the
don't
White
want
House.
Somali rape.
Do
We
you
want
want
American rape.
more rapists here or fewer?
American rape. That's
We don't want any rape.
Oh.
None at all. 0 would be a great number to have for that.
I don't want-
Do you want them coming here?
I think we should get rid of the rapists that we have in this country, starting with our president.
What about the Somalians? Do you want to get rid of Somalian rapists? Do you want ICE to arrest them or should they leave them alone?
Anybody who's a rapist. I'm not going to determine whether or not I want them here based on their race, their color, their creed, their gender, their identity, whatever. They commit a crime.
But if they're American
punished.
citizens and they're rapists, by our law, you can't just deport them because they're citizens who committed a crime. You punish them in our jails. Whereas if they're Somalian, we can kick them out because they're not even our citizens. Yeah.
We can deport them for committing a crime.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm glad you agree with deporting illegal immigrants who commit crimes.
The immigration policy is a gateway for fascism. That is what I saw it as. And that is what it has become. And it's very obvious that's what's happening. Do you feel safer with ICE Gestapo agents in your community? Do you think it's a good use of your money to terrorize people? This is a paramilitary force. It's carrying out a political agenda. These people are unqualified, and Renee Good died as a result of that. Renee Good has died because of our MAGA politicians who will not stand up against Donald Trump. So this isn't a political rally for me, but I will say this. If you vote for me in the primary on May 19th, I will support impeachment. Absolutely will. I am your progressive candidate. I am your local Antifa headquarters representative.